Is screen time ruining our child's brain? It's a discussion we need to have. As parents, we all worry about this, right? Let's face it, screens are everywhere and they're not going away. Screens, we have TVs, we have tablets, we have computers, and then we have the phone that's right there in our pocket. So screens are everywhere. And there's a lot of upside to that. There's benefits, lots of educational content, right? But what impact is this having? All this screen time, are we unintentionally harming our kiddos' development? The American Academy of Pediatrics has some great screen time recommendations based on your kiddo's age. We'll get to that in a minute, but first, let me share those 4 issues that I see with my kiddos every day. Number 1, attention! They're having a huge deficit of attention to task. I've talked with teachers who say their kids have such a hard time in their class paying attention because of their exposure to screens being so stimulating that when the teacher's standing up there, she seems boring and kids zone out on her. Number 2, developmental delays. How do screens cause that? Because the kids are learning to be spectators, not participants. So they're watching people talk, but they're not practicing talking themselves. They're watching kids play, but they're not playing themselves. So their fine motor is not developing, their communication is not developing. Number 3, we're seeing behavioral problems. All you need to do is go to a store or a restaurant and you'll see this. You see the kids looking at a screen, maybe mom's phone, sitting in the grocery cart. As soon as it's taken away because the phone rings, the kids have a literal meltdown in the store because the screen has been taken away. The other aspect of behavioral issues that we're seeing is they're not developing social skills. They're not taking turns. They're not having conversations. So social skills are suffering as well. And the 4th thing, sleep issues. We are seeing kiddos taking devices to bed with them. Maybe mom knows, maybe she doesn't. And the kids are staying up way too late. And therefore, during the day, they're exhausted. Also, we've also heard about blue light and how that affects our sleep rhythms. So the question remains, what do I do about this screen time? Well, my suggestion is you create a plan that's going to work for your family and find healthy ways to manage screen times. I have 4 simple, but not so easy suggestions to help. And for these to work, you need to be intentional with them and you need to be consistent with them. Number 1, set limits and stick to it. Consistency, consistency, consistency. What are the limits? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the American Academy of Pediatrics has set out some guidelines saying that kiddos under 18 months, no screen time except video chatting. No screen time. For kiddos 18 months to 24 months, less than 1 hour with co-watching. I'll talk about that in a minute. And for kiddos from 2 to 5 years old, 1 hour, just 1 hour of screen time with quality content. So number 1, stick to your guns, set some limits. Number 2, choose high quality content. Educational, of course. And we say everything's educational, right? Right. Here's my criteria for what looks like educational. Is it interactive and getting your kid to participate or imitate? Are they asking you to clap your hands? Are they getting you to, where are your eyes? Show me your eyes. Point to those kind of things. So is your kid just getting that computer glaze or are they interacting along with you? So high quality content. Number 3, co-watching. I mentioned that earlier. What is co-watching? Just what it sounds like. It means the 2 of you are watching and consuming the content together. It's not just that's something your kiddo's doing and the screen is a babysitter. No, we're watching it together. So you can comment on what you're seeing. You can pause it and point out something on the screen together. Maybe you're watching a song and you let the song play through, but you're doing it together, and you turn it off and then you practice it. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. So you're doing it together. The fourth thing, make screen time a reward, not a default. There are so many things we can be doing with our kiddos, and then screen time is just the cherry on top. You can do reading, you can be playing with them together. So those are the 4 things I see that you can use to create a healthy screen time plan. Screen time does not have to impact your kiddo's development. Remember, the screens are not the enemies. By developing clear boundaries, choosing quality content, you and your child can have that enrichment while still enjoying technology. For more tips on how to manage screen time, how to make screen time interactive, check out the other videos in this series. If you found this helpful, we'd love it if you'd subscribe and like it. And please leave a comment telling us about how you've implemented screen time at your house. See you next time.